France 24 is in the beautiful French city of Cannes for the TrusTech Forum. I'm here with Osama Bedier. Tell us, you work for PayPal, you work for Google,
yes.
and you have now launched your own company, Poynt, and you have launched a new payments terminal. Tell us, what's the future of paying and shopping for things?
I believe that 2/3 of the world will ultimately end up paying with biometrics. I think the emerging markets will be a lot faster to adopt because they don't have our notions of privacy in the US and Europe. But ultimately, I think it'll also end up seeping by choice into developed markets. If I give you a lot more convenience, you'll probably use at least some of the time.
But when you say the notions of privacy, do you think that perhaps Europe and in the US people go too far and are too protective over their data? When you say notions of privacy, is it something that you think is over the top?
I think we value keeping a lot of things secret that other parts of the world have never had, and so they don't have that expectation. I don't know if it's good or bad. I mean, personally, I like it. I like to choose whether my fingerprint is available somewhere or not. But in a lot of countries around the world, that's not a choice. You have to make it available.
So we don't want to go down that road in the US or Europe, do
Well,
we?
I don't know.
Has India gone too far?
It's always a balance. I can also tell you the same people that complain about it put their fingerprint whenever they enter the country. They don't say anything about it.
They want to go on holiday there.
You can't enter the country anymore, any country in the US or Europe, without giving your fingerprint. So you're actually giving it to somebody. And so the question is, do you use it for retail? I would say that, back to your question about why will it change so fast? We know that the millennials and newer generations are actually a lot less concerned with privacy than the older generations. And we know that they'll give up certain privacies for convenience much more willingly than others.
And do you think at the moment people have enough, safeguards need to be put in place so that people can choose and they're not just finding themselves with the only way they can possibly pay is using their biometric data?
Yes.
How does that work? Who's going to do that?
The hard part is who chooses safe enough. I don't think the common person knows enough about technology to be able to tell. So they rely on their governments. Some governments are way over here and some governments are way over there. So it's really hard to tell what's right. But a billion Indians have their fingerprints and retina scans in a database that's available to commercial entities who apply for it. So I think it's hard to say what's exactly right. But I agree that it should be protected, it should be secure, and we have a lot of evidence that we've done that well, right? Most of the money doesn't get stolen even though it's digital.
I want to ask you one final question about governments. You talked about governments and it depends, different governments have different views when it comes to privacy. What about your future government? Trump, the businessman, is he going to be good for your business?
I'm still trying to figure that out. Trump has said a lot of things. It's unclear how much of it actually gets implemented. And so I can't really tell you whether it's good for my business or not. I can tell you as a technology veteran, so I've been in the technology industry for 18 years now. Technological progress is unstoppable. No matter what administration, no matter what government, no matter where you are in the world, increasingly, it doesn't really matter. If you produce something groundbreaking and it creates demand, you have a
people will want to buy it.
Yeah.
Osama Bedier, thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you for having me.